Welcome to That Game Show, the awkward, inappropriate, random podcast that occasionally talks about games.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to That Game Show. I am Chase Bunker. Thank you so much for listening. Joined, as always, is Kyle Helmstetter. Kyle, how are you?
I'm fixing my mic.
Why are you fixing your mic? Why are you fixing
screw on it?
Why? So hold on. Let me ask you this. We literally were pre-planning this show when the few times we ever pre-plan a show for 15 minutes.
Yep.
And you thought I should probably work on this screw, during that time and not.
Would you like me to fix the audio settings? I can change the volume.
No, I don't trust you adjusting settings. Yeah, I don't.
Then you better settle for the screw then.
I'm going to settle for the screw. That's not going to get taken out of context at all. Speaking of audio, I want to talk about this real quick. I went to Welcome to Rockville recently, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know or unfamiliar, Welcome to Rockville is a 4-day rock festival over at Daytona International Speedway. I went all 4 days like a psychopath, and I didn't realize how much of a workout that was going to be, one. And two, this surprised me as more as it just frustrated me. And tell me if you think this is right. So I saw Electric Callboy there. Electric Callboy is kind of like this metal / EDM band. They were far and away number one with a bullet, the best band of the weekend.
I can pull it.
What's that?
All right, never mind.
Okay,
it's fine. Sorry, jokes missed.
Were you trying to quote Fall Out Boy?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. You couldn't make the Fall Out Boy joke when I told you when I was seeing Fall Out Boy?
Well, you didn't technically tell me you saw them.
Okay.
We're getting to that point.
Okay.
But I thought I'd lead up to it's fine.
All right, excellent.
Cool.
Thank you.
Falling flat.
So Electric Callboy, best band of the weekend, number one with a bullet. And
Bullet?
exactly, that's how you do it. And so, and I've been watching a whole bunch of videos. I saw a live video that they did for the song "We Got the Moves." It's my favorite song. That and their new song with Baby Metal, Ratatata. It's so good. I can't stop listening to it. But anyway, so I saw in my feed cell phone video of the show, and I thought, okay, I want to see if it can help capture the experience, because I saw throughout the entire festival, everybody phones up in the air and they're just recording video the entire time. And so I clicked on it and I watched about 10 seconds of it, and it sounded like ass.
Yeah. We love that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm listening to it and I'm just like, why do people record concerts from their cell phone? And I think back to when I saw everybody else do it, and I don't know if this is just me getting older now, but it's like, why would you do that when you don't even get 10% of the experience there? And so I don't understand the point of, one, holding your arms up for 20 minutes straight, trying to get a good shot, and also recording it, making sure you have good angles and not actually enjoying the show. No jumping around, no dancing, nothing. That's your contribution?
I don't know why they do it. All I know is that they do it. But a wise mermaid once told me, if you've got a light, use the light. Maybe they're scared of the dark. And this whole time,
it was in broad daylight. No, this was in broad daylight. There was no need to have a flashlight out or anything. It wasn't one of those songs. It was legit. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was at 6:15 on a Saturday. So it was still bright as hell out. So you could easily see, and people are trying to quote capture the moment. And this is where this is what I get. This is what I'm becoming now. As I'm getting older, it's no, this is just stupid. I understand if you want a photo, that's fine. But to try to take video of it because you want to relive the experience, that doesn't do it.
That's what they're trying to do, though.
But poorly.
Well, agreed.
I still remember when going to a Trivium show. It was Trivium and Arch Enemy, and we were at the House of Blues in Orlando, and this guy for the first song is taking cell phone video, and he has his elbow right on top of my shoulder. Like he's literally just like resting it on my
the
shoulder.
tripod.
Yes. And so I'm looking up at him the entire time, and I'm just like, "Do you mind?" And he thought I was the bad guy. He thought I was being rude. And so finally, like somebody later on, like started getting to the pit area, and he shoves him, which shoves into me. And the guy, I'm not kidding, looks me dead in the face and goes, "People can be so rude sometimes." And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I'm glad you guys bonded over that though, because I mean, at first I thought you didn't like this guy, but now I'm convinced. I think you guys had a bonding moment.
No.
Friend of the show?
No, absolutely not. I
Okay.
would. I don't think he knows that I exist. But what's that?
But
If he was on the show, I would literally chastise him for about a good 10 minutes about 1, taking cell phone video at a concert, and 2, using my shoulder as a tripod.
it's unfortunate.
What was the last show you've been to? Because I realize you haven't talked about concerts recently.
Well, see, there's a huge reason for that. I have no income and I have no time. I can't leave. I'm stuck here.
Well, that got dark quickly.
I mean, it's not dark. I just can't go anywhere. I have no time to go out and do it, especially if it takes a day. Like, if it were a night concert, I could, maybe on like a Friday kind of squeak out to do it if I'm not working. But let's be real. I'm working on Fridays. It's a very normal thing for me. But yeah, the last concert I've been to, it's been like years. I haven't been to one in a while.
What was the last concert?
Probably Rise Against and Linkin Park when they did it at the House of Blues. It's a while ago.
That sounds like. Was that before? Actually,
yes.
Oh wow. That is an old. That is an old show. For a second,
I have not been to one in a minute.
My gosh.
Like you could probably find like a 75-year-old that's been to a concert more recently than I've been to one.
What I also noticed at Rockville is the amount of horny on main from guys at the shows. Because
What?
horny on main, like pretty much like these guys would, and I'm not kidding, they would wear black t-shirts, black graphic tees, and it would just say something like, "Hey goth girls, I have a camper, let's do this." Or I have a seat right here, and it'll just point and the arrow pointing up or down, and it's just like,
okay, well, that one's not bad.
But I mean, just like the subtle. There's no subtlety with men anymore. Like men have just stopped trying. Like that's all that I've noticed.
Everybody stopped trying.
It's like seriously, like what are we doing here? By the way, one of the days that I went, Insane Clown Posse was there, and so it was just like everybody wearing clown makeup. And I feel like if you had if your fetish was Harley Quinn, you would have loved it.
So you've described most males and a good majority of females out there.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much. Just because the fact that 1, Harley Quinn, 2, just the lack of trying and just putting horny graphic tees.
You know what's crazy about Harley Quinn? When did people start liking people from New York? No offense to people from New York.
Chase Bunker.
Porky Pig, big environmental kind of guy. Loves the kids, but not in a weird way. Just in a Porky Pig kind of way.
What's the Porky Pig kind of way?
Like in a way that's legal, I think. Kind of like a respectable way. Like kids are good for the planet and for keeping humankind not extinct.
Kyle Helmstetter.
Wow. My God.
Sometimes I wonder what it'd be like to do crystal meth.
This is That Game Show.
By the way, I know that this came out a few weeks ago, and it's been a while since we recorded. Did you get Hades 2 yet?
Nope.
Do you plan on getting Hades 2?
Do I plan on getting it? Yes, I do. I have a backlog of games, though, I think, and that's kind of what's kept me from doing it.
Mm-hmm. What's on the backlog right now?
Currently, let's just just go ahead and pop to the browser here. I am in the midst of playing. I'm doing Diablo 4, which
Okay.
crazy. Wouldn't
Yep.
expect that.
Yeah.
I'm doing another Fallout playthrough because the show brought it back to me.
All right.
My friends and I are doing an honor mode run on Baldur's Gate. I did the alpha for Smite 2, which was enjoyable.
How is that?
It was good. I don't want to say polished versus unpolished because it's an alpha for a game that is going back into alpha again in a few weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
They'll be doing another run through. But it looked good. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have a good computer, but Smite as a whole, it's old, but it doesn't. I wouldn't say it looks like horrible. It's just old. But it looks good. I liked how it looked. Enjoyable. I played it. I have to learn all the meta builds and all these little things with it, of course. So that's going to be a pain. Let's see. Multiverse just popped on my list today. My friends were playing that and wanted me to
Multiverses,
play it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Multiverses. That's right.
Yeah, multiverse is what Marvel just keeps doing. And I think now every movie and every series is just developing that now at this point.
Yeah, it's a fun one though. I give it that. It's pretty good. Let's see. Up until I've been doing GTFO. We've been starting to play that.
Oh, I need to get back into that.
Good game so far. We've only played 2 levels, but have been enjoying it. It's like a lot of content warning that popped up on the list recently.
By the way, if you need me for GTFO, like I'll be down to just always.
We might need a 4th actually.
Okay.
I think we have 3 right now, so
Okay.
that's a very high possibility.
Invite me to your friend group. That's what I realize like I'm doing. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing that nobody likes doing, and I'm just gonna bulldoze through your friend group.
Just gonna jump in the Discord randomly.
Yep.
Works. Demonologist. That's another one.
So you've got like
a lot of games.
You got Harry Potter in the Order of the Backlog.
It's not even as bad as some of my friends. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
Like mine is tame, but also because I'm limited right now in income. In October, that will not be the case, and I will have an income. So we'll be rolling at that point.
Yeah, right now
I have a few on my wish list as well, so I've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I just finished Immortals of Avium, which has been on my backlog for a little bit. Like, it was a game that I was really excited about, but it came out in 2023, where everything else came out. And I'm just gonna say this, like, Immortals of Avium is actually a really good game. Like, it got like somewhat decent reviews, but like nobody played it. And I think people just kind of need to get like a nice little push into that because it's an original. Like, it's an original game. In an era where we just keep complaining about, oh, this is just getting remade and remastered. Like, Immortals of Avium was just like a fun little mage shooter. And so I tried it. The beginning's a bit slow, but overall, like, I still loved it in the end. And I think it's a game that people need to try. You were talking about backlogs. I've been putting Final Fantasy 16 in my backlog for a while because I keep thinking it's a Final Fantasy game. It's going to take me another like 70 hours. And so I've been playing Avium. I was playing, I had a few other games prior to that. Oh, like the Horizon DLC and all that. I was doing a whole bunch of others. Dave the Diver. And so
Dave the Diver. Yep, that's on my backlogs.
Oh, Dave the Diver's fantastic. You will love it. And
good to know.
I was about to play Final Fantasy 16 up until Hades 2 comes out, and then also QVC had a sale on Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and so I just bought that as well.
Yes,
and I need to. So now it's like, am I pushing this back even more? But going back to my original point, Hades 2. Created by Supergiant Games. We had Greg Kasavan on the show back in 2015. Friend of the show. Go check it out on YouTube as well. YouTube.com/thatgameshow. This was, I think we talked right after Transistor came out, so we haven't spoken in a while. I've been trying to get him back on since. Right now, Hades 2 is in early access. If it goes live this year, it is far and away Game of the Year. And I don't
really.
Think, yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Even if they decide to go live tomorrow, I think it's Game of the Year.
That's interesting.
It is fantastic.
Not what I would have guessed.
I will say this. I loved the first Hades. It was obviously my Game of the Year in 2020. And so when I saw that they're making the sequel, it's like, okay, how are you going to make it different? Are you just going to play as Zagreus, or you see, oh, okay, this is a different character? Are they just going to have the Zagreus moveset? And somehow they made it different. They made what could have been like already great combat. They somehow made it better.
Wow.
I love the
Okay.
interactions with everybody, and so I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Fair enough. Fair
But
enough.
they packed in so much more on this early access, and I can't recommend it enough. And so I think even if it were to go live tomorrow, like this is my game of the year already.
How much is it right now?
I believe it's 30.
Okay.
I could be mistaken as you
You
look
are
it up
correct. It is $29.99 right now.
Okay.
So it is in a worth it position.
Yes. Hands down.
Okay.
Because
Interesting.
did you play the first Hades?
I did.
Okay. Did
I
you
did.
like it?
I did. I enjoyed it actually a lot more than I thought I would, especially having played it on the Switch.
Ooh, the Switch probably would have
Wait.
been fun.
Oh yeah, no, it was on the Switch. Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure I had it for the Switch.
Yeah. But I can't recommend it. Hades 2, definitely go check it out. Get it on early access so you can get it technically on a sale at a discounted rate. Because I know that as soon as it goes live, it'll probably be like 40. So
I mean, will it though? I feel like they didn't sell Hades 1 at that high of a price.
that's a good question, actually.
I don't think that they ever went that high with it.
How much is Hades 1 right now?
24 right now.
Okay, and it's been out for a few years. You know,
It has been out for a little bit now.
yeah.
I think I got it on the Switch for. I want to say I got it for 30 when I bought it on the Switch.
That sounds right. So okay, then just get it now, just to get it now. Then just because I don't know if they're going to raise the price when it goes live. Don't take that chance. Get it now.
Valid.
Yeah. Speaking of games and get it now, that has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Sony just had its state of play as of recording this. They just showed off a whole bunch of trailers. They showed it off for a bunch of games like Infinity Nikki, Dynasty Warriors Origins. We saw God of War Ragnarok kind of coming to PC. Let's see, it's going to arrive on PC on September 19th, and it'll probably actually be playable on October 5th. Where Winds Meet, that seemed interesting. There was a whole bunch of other games. They showed off Silent Hill 2. They showed off Until Dawn, getting a new trailer.
Astrobot. Nice sync. Good synchrony right there.
Yes. And Monster Hunter Wilds, among a few others. So, Kyle, I want to ask you, what stood out to you?
I would say Path of Exile 2 was a big one for me. And I've played a little bit of it on... I remember starting with it on Xbox, then I kind of transitioned and played it more on the PC. And at first it was kind of overwhelming when I first played it. It got a little bit more comfortable. I think the more time I chipped away at it, which was kind of meaning that I put it down and would pick it back up, and then put it down and pick it back up. Very interested to see that it's getting a second one, honestly, for where we sit at. I know it is an older game in terms of, like, it's been out for a while. Still, a little surprised that they kind of went and did it. So that one stood out to me. I do think that we saw, a little bit more of Marvel Rivals. We already knew that one's coming out. I've seen some gameplay of it. They had the gameplay that we did not talk about, actually. But they had the first tease look for a lot of people. Which was met with good reviews, but notably also they were told they can't say bad things. So
yeah, that was a very weird and I like how they tried to play it off. Let me see if I can try to find it real quick. Like,
I'd say it's hard for me to say that I didn't hear bad things because they weren't actually allowed to say bad things.
Yeah, they weren't allowed, and it was so bizarre. Like, and of course, like, this is where I want to say YouTubers need to do better, but there's been countless times where we've just kind of looked at the terms and conditions, go, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. Like,
yeah,
that was so bizarre.
It was certainly something I didn't expect, but I mean, hey, I guess do you, right? I mean,
yeah,
what's there to say otherwise? But nonetheless, yeah, so that happened. So I can't really comment much on that. What was it there? Oh, the Alien Rogue Incursion was cool to me.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who really likes the Alien series and franchise. And I like VR games. I still have my Oculus Quest 2, I believe it is. So seeing that we're still getting VR games is pretty cool. Um, I'm interested in it, honestly. I have no idea what it looks like because we didn't really get to see that much. But I mean, let's be real. Out of horror games, they usually do a really good job at making those games terrifying. So I'm super curious how it's gonna look. I think it's gonna be really cool. I do think this VR title on it though is going to be a hurdle that they're gonna have to overcome in their own way because not a lot of people I feel like have the VR systems for, especially for PlayStation.
Yeah, the PlayStation VR, I think it's too expensive. Like, you already are making me pay $500 for a console, and then to get the upgraded VR, you want me to pay an additional $500. And I think that's a bit absurd, especially with like the content that comes with it. I know what's funny is like you say VR. Like, I looked at Behemoth and I thought it looked like a much improved Skyrim, and I thought this is great. And then I saw, oh, it's VR. No one's gonna play this.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I feel like that anytime I see a VR title, I'm kind of like, dang, that was really cool. Like, I love that. And then I realized, is anybody actually going to be able to play it? Because VRs are in a short abundance in terms of like people having them. And the more you get into like the consoles, especially, the less you see of it. So
yeah, I saw Ballad of Antara. I thought that looked really interesting. Where Winds Meet kind of had a bit of like a Neo aesthetic to it, and so I'm curious to see how that comes out. Obviously, like if you love not Dynasty Wars, they showed Dynasty Wars, but they also,
I was about to say, I was like,
Monster Hunter. Like, if I know a lot of people who like Monster Hunter, so I think if you're a big Monster Hunter fan, you would obviously be excited about that.
I want to be. I really do. Every time that I see a Monster Hunter game, I'm like, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna have friends that are gonna play this. We're gonna have a great time. And then none of us play together.
Nope.
I buy it, and I literally just don't play it. I'm like,
So what else? Silent Hill 2, I thought looked really interesting. I'm curious about.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I mean, Silent Hill 2, the Silent Hill 2 remake. I know a lot of horror fans are really excited about it. I thought when they showed like that painting monster, I thought was like, oh, that's just nasty. Okay. The two others that I'm curious about. Well, actually, one I'm curious about, and one that I'm really excited. So the curious one is Concord, which is, the 5v5 like Overwatch-esque style. And I know that like they're trying their best to not make it sound like it's Overwatch, but it's a 5v5 battler with different abilities. Yeah, Overwatch clone. Which, here's the thing, might not be bad given the state of Overwatch 2. But I looked at it, I saw the trailer and I thought, oh, this could be really fun. And then I saw it's a multiplayer. It's like, oh, that's not good at all, because we're not going to get that lovable, quirky personality like in a storyline. It's just going to be on an arena. And also, if this is I don't know if it's a PlayStation exclusive, but it says PC and PS5, August 23rd.
Okay.
So it could be good. It could do well, but I don't know how Sony's going to be given what they're doing with Helldivers 2.
So, yeah.
Sony really screwed the pooch on that one. Like, Sony had the opportunity of saying, hey, you know what? You don't have to connect accounts anymore. And then just get rid of that altogether and not, make it limited to, you can't play it in certain countries anymore. Like,
well, so that's, I know also that's still a lock with Steam. Steam's having ongoing talks right now with PSN to try to figure out, hey, how do we get this game back on? And do we, we would like it on because that's money for us, but, that's also a big problem. So I agree. I am curious on how this is going to be handled. But let's be real. I feel like a lot of people who like PlayStation because they weren't affected by all of this for the most part. I feel like the majority of the Helldivers community that I hear that's mad about it is the PC part of it. The PlayStation part of it seemed pretty quiet, honestly, because they'd already done that link.
Yeah, they already did that. Like, the problem is, and I understand that people are saying the gripe of, oh, it's just connecting an account. You do it all the time with Ubisoft and EA. It's not necessarily about that. It's the aspect of Sony limiting this game in countries that don't allow it. Like, that's the thing. It's like Sony doesn't have games in certain countries because of government laws and all that, so they can't connect it. And if you change your country, you violate the terms of service and you get banned. And so it's like, why would you ruin something that was good? Why did you have to stick your hand in there?
That's democracy, baby. That's a full role play right there.
Yeah.
We're really tapping into Super Earth now.
Yeah. But I haven't played. I need to get back into Helldivers. I haven't played that in a little bit. But
we did pass the major order. We now have a second mech.
And so anyway, the other game that I'm excited about, I realize I just completely dismissed that. I'm sorry. One game that I'm excited about is Astrobot. When I saw Astrobot, I was so worried that they were just going to make it another VR game, because Astrobot Rescue Mission is VR, but when you get your PS5, you get Astro's Playroom, which is kind of like it's a fun tech demo. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is really cute. Like, I want to play this game now. Like, it has like that Sackboy meets Ratchet and Clank aesthetic.
Sackboy.
Don't ruin that for me.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
And so, pretty much, that was it. Like, Sackboy. Now Astro Boy. Astrobot. You got me saying Astro Boy.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
For those of you who don't know, when we were doing a rundown, he kept calling it Astro Boy, and it's like, no, it's Astrobot. He's like, well, they're similar. I'm like, well, one's an anime from the 70s. And
but it was similar.
I mean, no, like, Astro Boy looks nothing like Astrobot.
But are they both little?
Yes.
Are they both white and blue?
I don't think Astro Boy has blue.
I'm going to Google it.
All right, you go look that up. In the meantime, that's going to do it for us here on That Game Show. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe, rate, review. It helps out the show greatly. All music you heard on today's show is courtesy of the band Power Glove. For music, tour dates, and merch, check out powergloveband.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Chase Bunker. You can follow Kyle on Instagram at Scandinavian_sensations. Other than that, Kyle, is there anything else you'd like to say before we head out?
Yes, I now realize that not only was I confusing Astrobot and Astro Boy, but I was also mixing in Robot Boy from the Cartoon Network series, who looks just like Astrobot. So I was confusing 3 separate things. So I stand by my point while also digressing that it was a little bit skewered.
For Kyle Helmstetter, I'm Chase Bunker. Thank you so much for listening.
They're the same, guys. You gotta understand. They're the same. They does connect. They're all coming together. They are the same.
No, Charlie from It's Always Sunny meme. It's not always the same.
They're all the same. They're all this, but they're all boys and bots, and they're all small, and then they all look the same, except one of them he's pale and he's got brown hair, but the rest of them don't have hair because they're robots. This is crazy.
If you want to see Kyle go through a bit of a meltdown right now, you can also watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/thatgameshow. So for Kyle Helmstetter, I'm Chase Bunker. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you all in the next episode.
They're the same, you guys. They're the same. They're all the same. Everyone's ever different.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you check out more episodes on iTunes and on our YouTube page, youtube.com/thatgameshow. And follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/thatgameshow.